partnered with Brian McBride. But Washington will be looking to be fed from the playmaking of Mazanov and Barzija in the central midfield, and especially the speed of Cunningham and Brian West on the flanks.
For Chicago, keep your eyes on the lightning bolt on the left side of midfield. He's just 18 years old, but DeMarcus Beasley already has been called up to the full national team.
Well, and Chicago now has DeBears, DeBulls, and DeMarcus Beasley, incredibly quick down the left flank for the Chicago Fire, and a player who tries to set up Josh Wolf. Josh Wolf trying to fill the shoes of Ante Razov, who has gone to Spain for another contract. And Josh Wolf scored goals in the Olympic Games. Now he's scoring goals for the USA in World Cup qualifying. He needs to do it for the Fire here in the regular season.
So we are just moments away from rolling the ball and getting the MLS season going for both of these teams in 2001. The Barn Burners are here from Chicago. We'll roll it in just a minute. We're back in a flash.
They'll get off the bus, pick out the car they want, be on their way in minutes.
We'll call people from the airport to their car quicker.
We can if we give everyone jet propulsion packs.
Back open the bleeder valve and fill the tank to 800 psi. What?
I like the fast break idea.
2 new locations now open. Call for reservations.
If your vehicle got damaged, where would you take it? An insurance-approved shop that uses imitation parts? A shop that fixes your car at their convenience? You gotta be kidding. Those guys have got me seeing pink.
At 3C Body Shop, we restore your car to its original condition without the hassle. For the finest in collision repair, think pink.
3C Body Shop, the finest in collision repair.
There is no danger, however, as the satellite's now expected to smash into Quasi, an uninhabited part of the Australian outback. Scientists say that...
Do you, Yahoo?
Abundant power, rugged real-time four-wheel drive, and a deceptively large amount of headroom.
Hi. We just wanted to let you know your blinker's been on.
The CR-V from Honda.
Major League Soccer Saturday on ESPN2 is brought to you by Yahoo Sports, your online source for the latest MLS scores and news. Go to sports.yahoo.com. By Honda, the official vehicle of Major League Soccer. And by the joy of Pepsi. Getting ready to play, it's Chicago at Columbus tonight, and a lot of eyes are on the front man for Chicago, Josh Wolf.
Josh Wolf, what a memorable evening for him here at Columbus Stadium back in February. He electrified a standing room only crowd, scoring the game-winning goal against Mexico early in the second half of play. He devastated Mexico. And we talked to him just before the game.
Certainly, coming off a couple good games with the national team helps me coming into these with, confidence. And I certainly was getting my chances with the national team, and that's something that I got to keep working on. But I do have a responsibility here with Chicago this year, and it should be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll get off to a good start tonight.
He'll be aiming at the Columbus goal where Tom Prestes is tonight. Prestes won an MLS Cup in 1999 last year. Tough year with D.C.
Zach Norton in goal for Chicago, the 1998 goalkeeper of the year in Major League Soccer, and third overall last year in goals against average in the league.
And the game is on. The MLS season is underway for 2001. The Crew wearing the traditional all gold, and Chicago in its red. The Fire on a winning streak against the Crew, but it's an all-new season. DeMarcus Beasley tumbling hard into the support underneath our midfield load camera. He's okay.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Elcock is going to work him over.
Well, Ansel Elcock gave him a little bit of help on the way down. And that will be a physical matchup. Elcock trying to match the speed of DeMarcus Beasley, but also trying to intimidate physically.
We thank Honda and all of our Major League Soccer sponsors for allowing us
to bring you tonight's game without interruption. The field is in very good shape.
There's Tenuoff
Monsu, who played with Chicago late in the season last year. Elcock off Josh Wolf and out of bounds.
Brian West looking for a throw-in. Elects to leave it for Elcock.
Ryan Masonoff, hard touch. Elcock
keeps it in play. Oh, Masonoff runs hard into Carlos Bocanegra.
Play on, says referee Kevin Terry.
Bocanegra, a central defender now in this setup for the Chicago Fire. Played on the left side as a rookie. He was Major League Soccer's Rookie of the Year in 2000.
Long ball looking for John Wolyniec. Prestes is out at the top of the box.
A somewhat revamped back line for the Chicago Fire. Lubos Kubik has moved on to the Dallas Burn.
Chicago playing 3 across the back, and Columbus changing to 4 across the back, which had not been Tom Fitzgerald's way before. Masonoff with Yeagley. Now here's Barzija rotating back. He gives it away. Chris Armas to Wolyniec. Wolyniec through. It's Kovalenko. The shot just dribbles past the far post and out of bounds.
Well, a bad giveaway at midfield in his own third of the field by Robert Barzija nearly sets up a goal-scoring chance early here for the Chicago Fire. It's Kovalenko who breaks through. And I can't figure out, maybe he doesn't even know what he was doing there. But the fact is, that did not look like a shot, nor did it look like a pass. Because Josh Wolf is open out in front, number 16 in red for the Chicago Fire. Kovalenko could not find him, nor could Kovalenko find the far corner of the net.
That's amazing against Brazil. About a month ago,
Cliff Mathis was breaking in on the right side, and he had Josh Wolf across the middle. From a similar angle, he just barely caught the post and scored against Brazil.
Clark comes through, and when he takes the ball out, he does it with authority.
Beasley has been on a rampage for the U.S. Under-20 national team, who recently qualified for the Under-20 World Cup. Beasley and Landon Donovan tore up both Trinidad and Tobago and Guatemala, helping the U.S. to score 5 goals in each of those matches.
It's off Brian West, Chicago's throw. Marsh to Beasley, back to Diego Gutierrez, who is playing left back. More often seen in the midfield, but he's a good defensive player.
Well, another player missing at the back for Chicago, Andrew Lewis, who performed very well for them as a central defender when Kubik was hurt last year. Lewis a little banged up right now, too. That's why you see Gutierrez at the left back with Bocanegra. Bocanegra having slid to the central defender spot.
Out of bounds off West again as Beasley is trying to stretch the field wide, create
a lot of width, perhaps some space for Chicago.
Armas takes the throw from Beasley. Tackled down hard by Clark and cleanly. Here's Barzija with Armas chasing. And Armas whistled
for the slide tackle.
Just tripped
Barzija enough.
Barzija, the skipper for this Columbus Crew squad. He's been with them since '96, the inaugural year of Major League Soccer.
Yeagley.
A little bit windy.
The wind blowing from right to left through Columbus Crew Stadium. Edson Buttle gets his first touch. It's not a good one.
A few butterflies for Buttle before the game.
Kovalenko to Beasley. Again stretching it wide with West having a look. Elcock comes through with authority.
Very early in the game, in fact, in the first minute, Ansel Elcock introduced Jamarcus Beasley to the turf, as well as to our camera position at the halfway line. No foul called there, by the way, folks. That was a throw-in. So Beasley gets that kind of treatment because he is respected in his ability to get behind players with his speed and his dribbling ability.
C.J. Brown looks long for Wolf. Dante Washington
getting his first touches.
Barzija swinging it left for Yeagley, with Cunningham also on the sideline. Cunningham.
Buttle.
Tries to play it wide. Armas in the way. Masonoff. His ball up high, and Armas takes it for Chicago. Hard contact from Buttle coming back. Chicago has the free kick off the foul.
Good look at Edson Buttle, a teammate of DeMarcus Beasley's on the under-20 U.S. national team. His first name, Edson Buttle. His father, the former professional soccer player, named him after Edson Arantes do Nascimento, otherwise known as Pelé worldwide.
Here's Elcock. Barzija. Mason off. Buttle using his hand, and Gutierrez going down as if he were a will-o'-the-wisp.
Now Gutierrez long for Wolinek. He's breaking with Wolf.
Clark, the tackle, wins the ball, and he takes it before it rolls over the end line. Ansel Elcock with a little bit of room here.
Kovalenko having to look
defensively. Masonoff going long for West. It hangs in the wind a little bit. Gutierrez turns it outside for Beasley.
Beasley's only in about second gear, and he's got 7 or 8. Marsh coming back.
Playing square, gives it away. Here's Buttle.
Turns away from Marsh's slide.
West goes for the cross low. Bocanegra calmly takes it out of there and snaps it wide and high to midfield. A lot of poise playing in central defense by Carlos Bocanegra.
Astute positioning by the second-year pro Carlos Bocanegra to cut out that cross, and that was speed for speed in the corner. West against Beasley.
Tom Fitzgerald,
the dean of MLS coaches in his 6th season. He came on midway through the 1st season of the Crew's existence.
There's some pressure on
Fitzgerald. After missing the playoffs last year, they want to see this team move forward and challenge for MLS Cup
2001 as it is on its own turf in October.
Barzija.
You see now Columbus with 4 backs. I talked to Tom Fitzgerald before the game as to why the switch and how has it worked out. He says it gives us more balance. We're more spread. We have options out wide. It also gives players like Jeff Cunningham here on the ball the chance to go forward more because they don't have to track back as much defensively because there are wide backs in the 4-man setup that will cover the corners.
So they swing it side to side. Elcock into the box. C.J. Brown
heads it clear.
Cunningham volleys it outside. Barzija, the little half volley pass looking for Buttle. It doesn't work. Yeagley aggressively up, beats Wolinek to the ball.
Buttle's volley is a weak one.
Easy chance for Zach Thornton. He quickly fires it out for Beasley. Breaking with Marsh. Marsh turns away from Elcock, looks for Wolinek in the middle. Wolf. From 35, fires it wide. Josh Wolf
showing an awful lot of confidence, letting a shot
rip from long distance.
Well, both teams trying to exploit the wings for some space. This ball then brought into the center, and it's very long range, very ambitious by Josh Wolf. But hey, that's the same goal he scored, the huge goal to beat Mexico in the World Cup qualifier on February 28th, so he thought he'd try his luck.
And you know what? In the 9th minute,
nothing wrong with taking a shot like that in a
0-0 game. It might just open up the defense and bring them out. Now here's C.J. Brown on a long run from the back line. He's working against Balsu, brings it out. Marsh across the box.
Kovalenko waiting for it, never got through as Elcock was marking back. Armas chips in. Prestis
has it with the back line pulling forward to keep Chicago
from cheating a little. Cunningham.
Face it off. High and wide for Elcock.
Clark.
Washington tries the heel
flick around Gutierrez, who has a pretty good hand on him. Makes the move past him, ships
it forward looking for Buttle or West. The foul will come back to where Washington was taken down. Gutierrez with an awful big handful of Washington.
Armas right in there too, scrapping with Dante Washington. Look at this double team as Gutierrez taking a poke in there. Look, here's the main grab there by Armas at the end, and they were going to play advantage. It did not develop. Good call there.
Kevin Terry, the referee. That might have been one of those accumulation calls.
There was about 4 fouls there, yeah.
Barzija
serving to the far post, and it goes
a little bit wide of the mark that he wanted.
We already mentioned that the Columbus Crew's Dante Washington working without Brian McBride up top due to injury, but look who's missing for the Chicago Fire. Risto Stoichkov, Peter Novak. Stoichkov, the 92 World Player of the Year, and in 94, the top scorer at the World Cup here in the United States. So Bob Bradley, much like last season, he's had to adapt, adjust his personnel to try and cover up for players either lost through injury or because they've been called in for national team duty and World Cup qualifying.
The man sitting just to Bradley's right on the bench is Dennis Hamlett, who is known to Major League Soccer fans as a former player
and assistant with Chicago, now the first assistant with Mike Jeffries,
taking the top job in Dallas. Now here's Yeagley trying to get away from
Kovalenko.
On the far side, it's West against Chulis. Matt Chulis. We haven't said his name yet tonight. Armas
also over to have a look. And again, Varzija will tee it up with the right foot.
Looking for Washington, but Marsh heads it up. Masonoff wins the ball over the top. A chance for Washington in the pile.
Ball squirts all the way through to Thornton.
Well, a perilous time there for the Chicago Fire defense. Good hustle by Masonoff to knock the ball into the box, and then there's a mad scramble. Dante Washington almost gets on the end of that loose ball, but it went harmlessly into the grasp of Zach Thornton.
75 yards off the foot of Thornton.
West wins the 50-50 ball from Masonoff. Buttle uses his body well against
Gutierrez. DeMarcus Beasley back.
And it's off Gutierrez on the second challenge.
There's a look at Risto Stoichkov, the 94 European Player of the Year. Scored over 100 goals for Barcelona.
Gutierrez
slide tackles and takes the ball cleanly as Masonoff goes over the top. Now into the middle, Armas first time pass. Kovalenko
turns, has a little bit of room. West closes quickly. Marsh here.
Elcock challenging against Kovalenko. Armas.
Beasley.
West the defender.
Bocanegra. C.J. Brown.
Columbus giving Chicago a great deal of respect here, considering it's the home opener for the Columbus Crew. They're laying back and defending, and Chicago is without Peter Novak and Risto Stoichkov.
Mike Clark's going to get a yellow card at the 14th
minute for chopping down Josh Wolf from behind.
Earlier in the game, we saw Clark make a very fair and very tough tackle down in the corner. This one, though, because it's a challenge from behind, sliding in, dangerous to Josh Wolf's ankles. Yellow card comes out. The referee doing his job. Noel Kenny protecting the players, especially those attacking-minded players that the fans pay to see.
Clark had 6
yellow cards last year. So Gutierrez, talented left foot.
Doesn't put it where he wants it. Want a little more loft underneath the ball.
Ball Sue on the clear. Armas coming back. Just pops it up. Yeagley the chest
trap and heads it. Looks like a clinic going on there.
Here's Chulis, former member of the Columbus Crew. Tries the low center for Wallinek.
Buttle goes wide. Cunningham has some room against C.J.
Brown with Armas closing. Looking long for Washington. Bocanegra is there, and Thornton saves the corner. A reminder, next Saturday, United against the Fire, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
On ESPN2, Rob Stone and Ty Keogh will have that one for you.
A rematch of the 98 MLS Cup final, which Chicago won as an expansion team.
Gutierrez. Marsh. And again, no pressure here as Chicago holds the ball 45 yards from its goal.
Gutierrez, Beasley
tries to spin against Elcock, but it squirts out of bounds. A good challenge for the young wing midfielder, DeMarcus Beasley, to be having to take on Ansel Elcock, who has international experience for Trinidad and Tobago, including World Cup qualifiers.
Here's Bocanegra.
Marsh.
Wallina playing it back for Brown.
Chicago defenders are getting pretty comfortable here.
1/3 of the way, or 1/3 of the way through the first half. Beasley on the long ball from Gutierrez. Beasley into the middle. Wolf lets it go to Wallina. He scores! John Wallina! Beautiful long ball played forward from Gutierrez up to Beasley, and that's what sets the table as the defenders had time to look around and find the most dangerous pass.
Well, there's the danger of DeMarcus Beasley's speed getting in behind Columbus's defense. Now, Ansel Elcock was switched to the right side only to mark DeMarcus Beasley. Where's Elcock on this play? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found, and what a nice setup by Beasley, the left foot across. He loves the left foot. We'll have another look at it here. And he cuts this ball right across, right at the penalty spot. And Wallinek's perfectly timed run and a driven shot on the first touch puts it away.
Wallinek is making just his second start lifetime. Had just one start last year.
John Wallinek, the all-time leading scorer at Fordham University.
Here's Beasley again.
Through to Wallinek. Fakes the first touch.
Goes in hard against Prestis and fouls him. And Wallinek's going to get a yellow card. The referee, Kevin Terry,
motioning to the bench with Prestis down.
Well, it's DeMarcus Beasley again doing the tactical damage. A beautiful through ball right up the gut on the Columbus Crew defense. Wallinek gets in a little bit late, just slightly. He thought the ball was still free and available for competition. Prestis takes the physical brunt of it. And the yellow Crew defenders.
Mark Doherty had won the job in spring training for the Columbus Crew, but sprained his foot. And what a nice insurance
policy Tom Prestis is
for Tom Fitzgerald. Prestis has a
pretty good mouse bubbling up on his right cheekbone there after the collision.
Well, it is nice to have the experience. If you had to go to Doherty as the backup, he's, like you said, he's not really the backup, but the fact is, all-time win leader in MLS history.
Beasley, square for Wolf.
Marsh, wide for Kovalenko against Elcock.
Marsh, Armas. Kovalenko.
Marsh.
Beasley, hard pass to handle, pretty hot, came up shin high. Kovalenko turning it back slowly for Marsh. And West
coming through aggressively, hard and low.
Cunningham had left the field briefly,
and he returns. Varziha tackles
it down for Elcock. Now Clark. Ball suit.
Yeagley.
As Cunningham decides to play it long into the middle for Dante Washington. Bocanegra reading it. And Thornton off Bocanegra's screen. Carlos Bocanegra, for
a second-year player,
is really showing a lot of poise.
He showed almost too much cool there, as Dante Washington still had a chance to make a stab at that ball before Thornton scooped it up.
Bocanegra is a very solidly built player, listed at 170. Really a rock, and has deceptive speed for a man of his build. There's Dante Washington, who has some jets, plays it to the outside to Cunningham, outside of the foot shot. Didn't have the power behind it that he wanted, but he forced Thornton to make the dive.
And it looked like a ball that would be more naturally struck with the inside of the right foot as he was cutting in. Very awkward and a wasted chance for Jeff Cunningham. Not a bad ball whatsoever from Dante Washington. Find that little space over on the left side for Cunningham to run onto it.
Much tougher chance to have to step over
the ball or through its path
for your pivot foot. Beasley, the Chicago's strategy of stretching the field wide
has paid off early. Here's Marsh winning it away from West in a tackle. Armas.
Kovalenko performing in the similar role that you see Peter Novak or sometimes Stoichkov in for Chicago.
Wolf spinning against Clark, tackling hard. It's off Barzija. They rule it a goal kick.
Chicago playing the ball on the ground. Nice turn here by Josh Wolf. Under pressure, and Barzija, luckily for Mike Clark, Barzija coming over to double team Wolf on that turn.
And you see the replay. That should have been a corner kick off Columbus. Elcott.
Mason.
Shots are 3-2 for Chicago. John Wolyniuk scoring from Beasley.
Gutierrez sent Beasley
down the left wing. The goal began with Columbus not pressuring Chicago's back line, and Gutierrez had plenty of time to pick out Beasley and put the ball in a dangerous spot.
Beasley was wide open. He was at least 15 yards unmarked in behind Ansel Elcott.
Wolf to Marsh. Here's Gutierrez. Beasley. And again, no pressure at all. Chicago will just hold the ball here. Brown, Chulis. Wolf. Brown. Chicago playing it back to its support men, almost attempting to lure Columbus forward and play short long.
Now Brown goes long into the corner, but apparently it was a misread.
Coming up at halftime on the New York Life Halftime Report, extra time with Carlos Bocanegra as we meet him, and a preview of the game between United and this Fire team next week.
Cunningham, who has flip-flopped with West.
Well, that's a very deliberate move by the Columbus crew. They know Matt Chulis on the right side of midfield. Now with the Chicago Fire, they know him very well. He played for a couple of years here in Columbus. They know that Brian West's speed could be some trouble for Matt Chulis.
They know Matt Chulis
even recently. They waived him in spring training, and Chicago picked him up. Cunningham steps past the ball. Gutierrez takes it away. Wolf. Columbus wanted a handball on Wolf off the chest trap. Kovalenko. Marsh.
Wolyniuk runs through Clark. Clark
pops up and gets the ball first. Clark and Wolyniuk. A lot of scrap iron flying there. Plenty of flint and iron.
Two very similar players in their approach to the game. They will punish their bodies to get the edge. Actually, more hopefully, they try and punish the opponent's body.
Ball suit. Buttle playing it square for Yeagley. Having trouble with the return pass, which was high and hard to handle. Buttle out of traffic. Nicely done to Cunningham. Has Elcock overlapping on the right side.
Playing it, looking for a seam. There wasn't much there. Gutierrez taking the ball unopposed.
Well, Columbus, they're forcing the play, perhaps unnecessarily. Chicago, of course, have a 1-0 lead, so they can relax a little bit. But they've also shown us that, again, they plan on being one of the best possession teams in Major League Soccer. We've already seen hints of it in this match, only 24.5 minutes in. And Chicago can establish a rhythm of possession and hold the ball.
Alongside Takio, I'm
Jack Edwards. Glad you could be with us for this first Soccer Saturday of 2001 on ESPN2. John Wolyniuk, the only goal of the game. Back comes West. Bocanegra having a look defensively. The cross looking for Cunningham racing into the box.
Comes out to Masonoff.
Beasley steps in front of Cunningham, pops it up.
Kovalenko down.
Barzija for Columbus. The drive deflected. Thornton makes a great adjustment to the ball.
Difficult ball to deal with. It's the Polish rifle, Robert Barzija. He scored many goals from this range. And look at the wicked spin put on the ball by the deflection of the defender out in front. But very nimble, very agile. Here's the big man, Zach Thornton.
By the way, they are playing with the new Kappa League ball, which is a 32-panel ball. MLS had always played with an 18-panel ball before. The rectangular panels, now the 6- and 5-sided panels. We look that
much more Americans are accustomed to.
Here's Bocanegra. C.J. Brown. Gutierrez. Bocanegra
forward for Wolf with Clark right on his back. Washington on the challenge to win the ball. Clark for Elcott.
Cunningham takes it down nicely, getting away from Beasley. West. Varzija against Kovalenko. Creates a little space with the dribbling move, chips it forward. The
through ball for West. West tries a one-time cross. It pops up, and Thornton lets it go over the bar for the goal kick.
Well, Columbus throwing everything at Zach Thornton's goal, trying to tie this game. Here's the shot by Varzija. The deflection playing havoc with Thornton's ability to track that ball, but a good reaction.
Zach Thornton,
6'3" and 210. He's very nimble. We have seen him make gymnastic and acrobatic saves. He has a huge frame and can intimidate with that, but has amazing agility. Cunningham with Beasley on his back
and chatting in his ear. DeMarcus has picked up a lot of
tricks in a hurry. Washington with his back to the goal. Too many Fire players to beat, but he gets a foot on Gutierrez, attempted to clear. Buttle tries the heel pass.
Makes it off for Washington, but he's offside.
He was clearly offside. We're watching the Chicago Fire team, a team that won the championship in '98. They've also won 2 out of the last 3 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cups. But the Chicago team now, without Ante Razov, there you see Dante Washington a couple steps offside. The Chicago Fire, Ante Razov, their top scorer of the last 3 years, gone to Spain. Lubos Kubik, gone to the Dallas Burn. Right now, Novak and Stoichkov injured. If they are able to show this year the same way that they were able to do last year, and be able to adapt in those situations and still get victories, then they are a team that could contend for the MLS title.
The coaching job Bob Bradley has done is a magnificent one when you consider how many players were out
for so long for Chicago last year. Kovalenko the foul here.
But Kovalenko, one of the players that stepped it up in the absence of some of those key players, stepped into positions he wasn't used to playing and made a difference and became a better player and helped lead the Chicago Fire to the championship game.
Last year, Stoichkov only played 18 games.
Lubos Kubik basically missed 4 months of the season. Varzija, the serve on the free kick. Bocanegra the clear. Bocanegra was the rookie of the year. He was one of those guys that said, okay, you're in there.
Press this out against Wolyniec, has to play it from outside the box to Clark.
And one of the guys who stepped it up towards the end of the year was brought up from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds of the A-League. T-Bone Bonsu is now playing central defender for the Columbus Crew, and I think he kind of wanted in his heart of hearts to play with the team that brought him up originally, which was the Chicago Fire. Now he plays against them.
C.J. Brown moving forward. Chicago's backliners ever more aggressive
as they haven't been pressured when they've had the ball. Armas wearing the captain's armband to Wolf. Wolf against West in the middle of the field. Draws 3 men off to Marsh. Now Chulis alone on the wing. Fires it long into the middle, deflected, and it comes back to Preston off Clark.
Mike Clark may have saved a goal there as Jesse Marsh had followed after making the pass out wide, and Beasley in the box as well. Good ball by Marsh. Marsh does the wise thing, then races into the box looking to get on the end of that cross. Beasley was in there open again. Ansel Elcock's job to close down DeMarcus Beasley is a job that he has not fulfilled well enough, in my book, in these early moments of the first half.
Buttle against Chulis on the far side. Chulis trying to shepherd him to the corner. Buttle gets off the cross, but there's Thornton right in front of West.
Good work from Ensign Buttle.
Buttle's been very impressive, using his body, holding the ball. Beasley's been incredible. Beasley's back making defensive plays. A moment ago, he was in the penalty area trying to get on the end of Chulis' cross. He's going end to end, and Elcock has not been able to stay with him.
It's a power-to-weight ratio. The guy has a V12 engine and a
go-kart chassis. Kovalenko He's also got an unlimited tank of gas.
And a bit of skill, too.
18 years old. Oh, tremendous skill. Last year, you could see DeMarcus Beasley getting better during games as he was playing alongside Christo Stoichkov.
Stoichkov just pouring his knowledge into Beasley, who was soaking it up as with a sponge.
DeMarcus Beasley, otherwise known as the jitterbug.
So quickly and easily can he change directions.
Yeagley. Marsh cuts him off, and Armas takes the ball.
Chicago's midfielders and defenders play combinations extremely well. The first man forces the ball carrier to choose a direction and stick to it, and then the second man comes in for the kill.
So often.
Well, they set up angles so well. The triangles are all over the field.
Beasley wins the ball away from West and then turns it upfield, up the line. Wolf takes the bang from Clark.
Holds the ball and gives it back to Kovalenko. Beasley has Marsh square. Wants to play the dangerous ball to Armas and does. Wolinek has the through ball opportunity.
Armas didn't see it quite in time. Chicago is moving quickly through midfield. Columbus is giving up an awful lot of opportunity.
Chicago's timing on their runs, excellent. Wolinek, Josh Wolf, Armas there getting the ball from Beasley.
Marsh on the handball.
At midfield, Robert Barzija trying to slide the ball past Marsh. Marsh gets his left arm on it.
Ansel Elcock against Beasley, off Beasley's knees. The Bees' knees, if you will.
It'll be a Columbus throw close to the end line, so a chance to fire it right into the box. Remember, the wind is blowing away from the face of the Chicago goal.
Buttle over to contest, but Kovalenko picks his pocket in traffic, gives it into the middle, and Marsh just chops it up high and wide. Clark, a misplay off
the header. Bonsu was insurance against Wolinek's potential break.
Either Clark meant to do that, knowing that Bonsu was in behind him, or the wind fooled him. And there is a very blustery breeze down there at field level. I was down there just before kickoff, and it could be affecting those high balls especially.
I would opt for the wind on that one, because if Bonsu missteps or trips up, Wolinek has a breakaway.
Gutierrez stepping in for the tackle against Weston. Doesn't want to give up the corner. It's going to be a goal kick. That's tenacious work from Diego Gutierrez down in the corner.
This is the first Saturday of the Major League Soccer season. New England is playing the Metro Stars.
Kansas City, the defending champions, leading 1-0 at United, and look who
scored it. It's Roy Lassiter. Colorado playing
against Miami, and Tampa Bay against Dallas.
Landon Donovan is listed as questionable, coming back from a broken rib. Not likely to play for San Jose, but still
creating some excitement just with his presence on the roster of Earthquakes against the Galaxy.
And Donovan will be in the lineup for San Jose within the next couple of weeks. Those young guys heal fast.
We've got him coming up on a Soccer Saturday a few weeks from now.
Ansel Elcock against Chris Armas. Elcock stumbles a little bit. Turf in very good shape, considering that
we're in mid-Ohio and it's just the first week of April.
Armas
has Chulis on the right side. Marsh
straight up for Wolf. Clark coming right through from behind. Beasley. Marsh. Beasley turning it straight ahead. Lets it go from 23 over the top. It's a goal kick.
If you want to see more Major League Soccer,
you can order ESPN MLS Shootout on pay-per-view and get many additional matches that are not on TV where you live, including the playoffs. To order, call your cable company, Dish Network or DirecTV.
In the 35th minute at Cruz Stadium, it is a
warm and breezy early spring night.
The first Soccer Saturday of 2001.
The 6th season of Major League Soccer. Buttle trying to head it forward for West, who has both hands on Beasley, pulls him down.
This will be a free kick for Chicago, about 25 yards off the end line.
Elson Buttle, a teammate of DeMarcus Beasley's. Beasley back again, defending, fighting to win the ball back for his team. He's held by his teammate Buttle. That was actually Brian West that was holding him. But Beasley set up the goal and nearly set up a second goal already in this game.
Beasley way out wide. Now Now Gutierrez looking long forward for Woolley. That tough pass to Hamlett about 40 miles an hour and ankle high. Clark swinging it for Yeagley. Oh, he just misplaced it. And there's the wind again. Mark, Kovalenko, Chulis, Brown, Bocanegra.
Chicago's offense last year scored the most goals in MLS, 67 of them. Columbus Crew defense, on the other hand, gave up more goals than any other team in the league with the exception of Colorado and D.C. Maybe that's why you see more defensive posture out of the Columbus Crew, playing four at the back and conceding half of the field repeatedly to Chicago.
Gutierrez. Wolf heads it on. Nobody going deep to the right wing. Precious out of his box.
Josh Wolf, a 24-year-old out of Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Here's Clark. Belting it long. No one there but Gutierrez, who not only wins the ball but heads it to Beasley to start it back. Tripped. His heels clipped from behind.
A good example there. Not only is Beasley quick and can run all day, his first touch there was outstanding. He kept the ball shielded until he drew the foul, keeping the ball in very tight traffic so that they couldn't get a stab at the ball. They had to play his body, and he gets the foul.
Kovalenko, Beasley square, Armas back for Gutierrez, and now here's pressure with Barzihai going forward. Gutierrez plays it long, and Clark has it for Columbus. Tenuoff Bonsu. Todd Yeagley.
Bonsu on the ball here, has played 16 times for Uganda.
Gutierrez. Bonsu wins it with Lohead. Beasley. Marsh. Square for Kovalenko on the wing. First touch, Wolf. Barzihai checking him. Wolf swings it. This is Chulis.
But Chicago, again, always have the triangles working all over the field, passing options.
In the first game of the season, Chicago looking very sharp. Columbus, by the way, played on Wednesday in Costa Rica in the Giants Cup, the regional tournament that rewards teams that draw well. Wolf looking for Wolynek in a seam. Bonsu misses the diving header. Unfortunately, it rolls all the way through to Yeagley.
Actually, Bonsu got a piece of that ball, or it could have been a very dangerous chance for Chicago.
Cunningham. Bonsu. Clark. Elcott. Cunningham. Armas snaps it out of bounds. Not much of an attack from the Columbus Crew so far tonight. Kovalenko back for Armas. Marsh. Kovalenko. Clark coming through against Wolf. Clark's a wrestling tackling out of the back. Has kept Josh Wolf much out of the mix. West can't run on the ball as C.J. Brown reads the passing lane well. This is out off the Crew, so Chicago gets the throw-in.
A moment ago on a quick break for Chicago, T-Bone Bonsu on the diving header just gets enough of the ball to stop it from getting to John Wolynek, who already has a goal tonight. Bonsu, very acrobatic, positioned just well enough to get a piece of that ball. Diving headers are always fun to practice when it rains, but not when that field is hard.
Chulis. Chicago with three across the back with the wide midfielders also come back and really stretch the field laterally. Here's Beasley, who was just standing on the paint on the sideline. Now Armas in the middle. Wolf. There's a lot of seams out there right now. Wolf 25. His shot pops up in the air. Kovalenko challenging Prestis. Jeff Cunningham sustained a facial cut.
earlier in the game. He's ready to come back out. Referee Kevin Terry has not yet acknowledged coming. So he stays in the bench area. Gutierrez half volleys the ball 60 yards downfield. Custis with a little bit of trouble here. Reminder of the New York Life halftime report is coming up just a couple of minutes away. We'll find out more about Carlos Bocanegra. Looking long for Barzija against Beasley. Gutierrez comes flying through with the volley. Wolynek heads it away to Clark of Columbus.
We talked about Brian Mazanoff at the top of the show at midfield for the Columbus Crew. He's kind of disappeared here after the first 10 minutes where he did have a couple of positive touches.
Marsh plays it outside of the foot. Wolynek coming back. Wolynek against Buttle. Stays inbounds. Barzija, Armas on him. There's Masonoff, down to Elcock.
He needs to get more involved. This is a player that should have the ball all the time in terms of starting the attack for the Columbus Crew. Now, he told me himself yesterday in practice that he knows it's going to be a couple months before he really gets his game legs.
Kovalenko looking for the fleet Josh Wolf. Wolynek breaking to the penalty arc right now.
Wolf holding the ball along the baseline where he had the assist in February against Mexico. Back out top, Schulis's drive gets knocked down. Barzija clears it.
Mazanoff back to make the shot block.
Brown away from West, and he has a little bit of room. Schulis, Armas, Marsh in the
center circle with no pressure. And here's Gutierrez with no one within 30 yards of him.
Brown. When Chicago swings it across the back line, it's getting absolutely no opposition. They can hold the ball here for the rest of the match.
Columbus will have the wind in the second half. They should be able to get some adrenaline, some octane from the fact that this is their home opener. They've not really shown that in the first half. And they're conserving their energy here, perhaps to make a push for it in the second.
Kovalenko working with Beasley down the line. Also has Marsh, brings it all the way through to Armas.
Kovalenko. Gutierrez.
Brown. Wolf against Bolsu. West on the challenge. Wolf goes down.
Foul against Columbus.
Josh Wolf is going to take a beating this year. He is up there as the #1 man with Ante Razov having departed.
Even more pressure on Josh Wolf on a night like tonight when Peter Novak is out injured. Hristo Stoichkov also not quite ready to step on the field due to injury. Stoichkov has a problem with his left ankle. We watched him at the practice yesterday, hitting a few balls, but only with his right. He never touched the ball with his left, and that's a real sacrifice for him.
Brown with West rushing on. Marsh. Beasley. Elcock having to look defensively.
Beasley tries to put it down the sideline. Elcock's pretty quick. At the official's discretion, there will be 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half.
Bocanegra.
I'll ask him after.
Brown. Schulis.
Bocanegra looks up almost as if to say, is it ever going to happen? Am I ever going to be forced to play the ball for him?
Back to Thornton. Now Washington comes up. Bolsu gives it away to Kovalenko. Wolynek, not the touch he wanted.
Bolsu clears it wide, but Schulis is waiting for Chicago. This game seems to be about 15 against 11 right now. Chicago has many players open for passes almost every time it has the ball.
Big edge in possession. Bolsu back to head it away, but he gives it back to Chicago. Kovalenko. Wolf. 30 yards away.
Marsh. Brown on the right side. Plenty of time here for Chicago.
Harness. Schulis with Wolynick. Wolynick lets rip. Blocked off Yeagley and out of bounds.
Well, if I'm a Columbus Crew fan, I'm not very happy. Not by what's up on the scoreboard, but on the approach, the style that Columbus is exhibiting here in this first half of play.
Wolynick turning away. Wolf out top. Beasley. Wolf makes the cut. Beasley lets rip. His shot is well wide.
It has to do with the passive approach of Columbus. There seems to be no go get him here in the first half of the Crew.
Well, again, I think maybe they're giving too much respect to the Chicago Fire. Chicago Fire missing some of their best, most experienced players. This could be a chance for the Crew maybe to force some errors out of a second-year pro like Carlos Bocanegra, or even force an error out of Diego Gutierrez, who's playing left back tonight, but he's normally not a left back.
They know Schulis wasn't good enough to make their team. You would think that there's going to be some exploitation of that.
Yeah, you got to go after him. It's your home opener. You can't be reckless about it.
We are done with the first half. The scores: the Chicago Fire 1
and Columbus 0, and a lot of boos, except of course from the Barnburners who've made the trip from Chicago. Coming up, the New York Life halftime report
when Major League Soccer Saturday on ESPN2 continues from Columbus.
They say that nothing remains constant except change itself. At New York Life, we see the world a little differently. The values with which we started, financial strength, integrity, and humanity, remain the unshakable foundation of the company today. That we don't see them changing, ever, is why New York Life is the company you keep.
The ride, don't need a reason why everything's alright.
Easy boy.
What do you bench? 350. Gallons? By the way, your body call. Yeah, looking for some vitamin D and A. Come on! Hey, I'm on a quarter. Can I get a spot here? Yeah. What are you drinking? Sports drink. Sports drink. Later, sunshine. Well, you just hit the stop button? They got a stop button, or you just stop walking, or you got them?
Want to play? Milk has 9 essential nutrients active bodies need.
I'm all right. I'm up.
So how we getting home?
Good question.
Hop on in, guys.
When you need a ride, dial down the center. 1-800-CALL-ATT and save big bucks on every call.
I live with my mom.
Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
This halftime report
is presented by New York Life, the company you keep. Welcome back to Columbus. We're at halftime. DeMarcus Beasley setting up the only goal of the game so far. DeMarcus, Columbus has given you guys a lot of room, especially wide.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're playing a 4-4-2, but the outside mids are pushed in, so me and Chewis have a little time to go at players.
DeMarcus, you almost set up a second goal for the Chicago Fire. You're playing with a lot of confidence, and you're playing a lot of defense, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, you know, improve a little bit every year. And, I mean, we're doing good right now. We're moving the ball well. We're moving for each other, and I feel good, you know, going in the first half.
DeMarcus Beasley, thank you very much. Beasley's cross setting up Wolinek's goal in the 17th minute. A reminder, Soccer Saturday comes your way next week as Chris Armas and the Chicago Fire with his teammate DeMarcus Beasley and Josh Wolf. Host Bobby Convey, Marco Echeverri, and DC United. It's 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific next Saturday, Soccer Saturday on ESPN2. We're at halftime at Cruz Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. The home fans a little bit restless here as the Fire has a 1-0 lead on a passive-looking home team. More of the New York Life halftime report right after this.
You may have a turbo. You may even have 227 horses. But if you don't have the control of Subaru all-wheel drive, you can't touch this. The Subaru WRX. Here at last. That's the beauty of Subaru all-wheel drive.
Crown Chrysler Jeep Kia now offers quality Crown certified pre-owned vehicles to save you money and give you peace of mind. Crown treats you to a great selection of late model Jeep Cherokee and Grand Cherokees and other sport utilities starting at $99.95. Also late model minivans starting at $99.95. Plus a huge variety of cars of all descriptions and makes. Crown Chrysler Jeep Kia is conveniently located just west of I-270 off Route 33 West, next to Crown Mercedes-Benz. Visit Crown Chrysler Jeep Kia today.
Soccer fans, are you fired up for another amazing season of MLS action? Watch your favorite teams, your favorite stars as they take the field for more intense world-class soccer. When you order MLS ESPN Shootout, you'll get over 100 regular season matches and select playoff games. So bring the action home. Order MLS ESPN Shootout now. Call your cable company at 1-888-SPORTS In Demand, DirecTV at 1-800-DirecTV, or Dish Network at 1-800-333-DISH.
What does the future hold? What will it look like? How will it feel? At New York Life, we are confident that whatever tomorrow brings, our values will remain steadfast. The financial strength of our products, the integrity and humanity of our company. So no matter what it looks like, tomorrow, like today, New York Life will be the company you keep.
How you doing? How you doing? Yeah.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Jerry there?
Yeah. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? So what's going on?
You don't want to know.
This copyrighted telecast may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the
Express written consent of Major League Soccer and ESPN. Welcome back to the New York Life halftime report. It is Chicago leading Columbus 1-0 at the break.
Time now to spend some extra time with one of the rising stars of Major League Soccer. Carlos Bocanegra came out of UCLA after his junior year and won Rookie of the Year honors.
It was a whirlwind first season for the California kid.
My very first professional soccer game was against Miami Fusion at Soldier Field. It was about 38 degrees. I'd never played in that cold of weather before. It was just so exciting. There was about 25,000 fans there screaming, fireworks. My emotions were going crazy. I was a little scared, a little nervous. I went out there and I did all right, so I got some confidence for myself. I think I'm just trying to fit in more with my team, you know, be a solid defender on my team and just do the best I can. The makeup of an MLS team, some good veterans for leadership and obviously skill. A good crop of young Americans, you know, that are mature and experienced, that can step right in and keep the level of play up. I like watching Josh Wolf, and I get the pleasure of watching him every day. Clint Mathis, dribble through people, you know, he can strike it well with his left and right foot. DeMarcus is great to watch also, quick little guy. You know, it's just fun. I respect everyone in the league.
Carlos Bocanegra, just 21 years old. Reminder,
block out those Monday nights in the summertime starting June 25th. Extra time at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. Find out next week
who will host with Rob Stone, as we'll make that announcement during Soccer Saturday. We're at Columbus Crew Stadium. The Chicago Fire with a 1-zip lead at halftime thanks to John Wolinek's
marker from Beasley and Gutierrez. The New York Life halftime report continues right after this.
The ride, don't need a reason why. Everything's alright.
Easy boy.
Hola, soy Jesús Stoichkov. Fui el mejor jugador del 94. Yo estoy aquí para ayudar a jugadores jóvenes. En mi presencia, MLS será la mejor liga del mundo. Yo creo en Chicago Fire. Estoy aquí porque creo en Major League Soccer.
So how are we getting home?
Good question.
Hop on in, guys.
When you need a ride, dial down the center. 1-800-CALL-ATT and save big bucks on every call.
I live with my mom.
Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
Who can tell me what builds strong bones? Anybody know that one? Milk, milk. What goes with pie? Milk, milk. What goes with beans?
I mean, I don't want to hear.
Should have had your menu.
Get out.
And Q.
Q? Close?
What about a cake?
No, G.
What about an X?
X. Seriously.
I'll have a root beer.
You'll have milk. Say it with me. Osteo.
Want strong bones? Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
Bingo.
Well, we've gotten known now we have a T for the diplomats and at the United Nations for the Council Generals because we do a lot of business. We do a lot of international trade. New Jersey's a big trade state, actually. Big part of the economy, and so it's good to get to know the Consul Generals of the various embassies that are and legations that are attached to the United Nations. So they come out once a year, and apparently we're known as having a good tea.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Crew Stadium in Columbus. This is the New York Life halftime report. Chicago leading Columbus
1-0, and it was all fire in the first half, Taikio.
Well, the Chicago Fire were able to keep possession. They also were not pressured very much. You'll see here, Diego Gutierrez getting the ball from Bocanegra has time to line this ball up, look up, and find DeMarcus Beasley, who snuck in behind Ansel Alcock. And what a cross here. A good dummy run at the near post by Josh Wolf. And an excellent finish. Another look at the goal here. You see how the ball was dropped in so nicely into space. And a perfectly delivered cross and a well-timed run by John Wolinek to put it away. Then just a couple minutes later, almost a second goal for Chicago. A great pass by DeMarcus Beasley, setting up Wolinek, who got a yellow card for his collision with Precious. But look at all the space that Beasley had there, too.
The fans in Columbus booed their team off the field in the first half. They want to see more aggressiveness
in the second. This has been the New York Life halftime report.
Just how quick and agile is the Kodiak Bear? It ran away with ATV of the Year, the Kodiak Automatic 4x4 from Yamaha. Now, the ATV that lets you switch from 2- to 4-wheel drive with the push of a button is ATV Magazine's ATV of the Year.
All you gotta do is...
You never knew the meaning of a good night's sleep until now, because now there's a solution. This is Mike Vinson, and the solution is Integrity Mortgage. With more than 100 years of collective experience, you can trust our staff to guide you where you want to go. The process is easy. We'll be with you every step of the way, and the results, well, you decide. For refinance or debt consolidation, call 848-8900.
Integrity Mortgage. There is a difference.
Tomorrow night on ESPN Classic. Find out why in golf a birdie is good and a gopher is bad. Caddyshack, Chevy Chase, the ball. Rodney Dangerfield.
Let's go while we're young.
Ted Knight. Bill Murray. And the Gopher star in a real classic. Caddyshack. Tomorrow night at 9 Eastern, only on ESPN Classic. To get real, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Sorry, Nippy. You'll give in before I do.
Have a bunch of my friend? Yeah, sure.
Major League Soccer Saturday on ESPN2 is brought to you by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer, this Bud's for you. By the United States Soccer Foundation, continuing to enrich lives through soccer in communities across the United States. And by milk with 9 essential nutrients. Got milk? Chicago leading Columbus 1-0 as we get set to begin the second half. We're joined right now by head coach Bob Bradley of the Chicago Fire. And Bob, your guys held the ball pretty beautifully in the first half.
The first half we played well, but now we've got to continue and push hard for the second goal. We expect Columbus to come out very hard.
Bob, are you surprised that they've given you that much space with the ball in the first half?
Well, I think that we found some good spots on the field, but at the same time, the center of the field closed down quickly, so we've got to continue to move the ball as fast as we can.
Bob Bradley, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks.
And the game is on in the second half. Beasley going right to work on the left side. Has it in the box, turns and fires, and a save by Prestis. We thank Budweiser and all of Well, I don't know if there was a chalk talk at halftime for Columbus, but if they covered DeMarcus Beasley and said, stop this guy,
they didn't do a very good job of it.
The message didn't get through.
Well, as we saw in the halftime highlights, he sets up the goal, and then a couple minutes later almost set up the second goal because he had about 15 seconds with the ball coming right up the gut through midfield with no pressure, and then played a nice little through ball into John Woynup.
Beasley, 18 years old. Carlos Bocanegra, last year's Rookie of the Year, 21 years old. The future of American soccer is bright. Zina Kovalenko back to C.J. Brown. Chulis touches it through to Kovalenko. Into the middle to Wolynek. Wolynek gets hit hard, goes down holding the right shin. And Varziha, the foul. Wolenek's a handful. 6'1", 172. Seems to be all elbows and knees, but shows a lot of grace for a guy that big.
Well, he struck the goal very well first time on the cross from DeMarcus Beasley.
Ansel Elcock trying to wheel away from Josh Wolf. Belts it up toward midfield. Buttle can't handle it. The ball comes out of bounds. Marsh. Bocanegra plays it back for Thornton. Yeagley working against Armas. Plays it up the line. Washington not anticipating that angle. The goal kick for Chicago. Bocanegra. Here's Beasley again with a ton of room. Elcock going over to have a look. Beasley tries to take him inside.
This has got a few different speeds. They're all very fast.
Armas
Wolf. Clark out giving him trouble all night long. Clark playing very physically and good stuff in the back line. Barzija getting it up now. Here's Cunningham looking to return it to West, but Armas gets in the way. Chulis. Wolyniec back for C.J. Brown. We're joined in the booth now by a frustrated Brian McBride. And Brian, I know you would much prefer to be out on the field. First off, how is the sprained knee?
It's coming along well, actually. Rehab's been going well. I just started it. I just got trained to ride a bike, so I'm pretty happy.
How many more weeks?
Let's not talk like that. I'm hoping to get back sooner than expected and be ready by the end of the month.
Brian, the way the crew played in the first half certainly isn't what this team is capable of. Did the guys just not bring as much aggressiveness as they had wanted to, or what happened there?
Well, I think, you know, the game plan from the outset was to let them come to us, and then as soon as we get, you know, they got near the half line to start putting pressure on them. We had a few lapses on the ball, and other than that, you know, the guys played pretty well. We started moving the ball late in the half, which we have to do a lot more. You know, we can't just pass around the back. We've got to go forward with it.
Brian, the Crew, for the first time in their history, did not make the playoffs last season. What has to change, and what have you seen already this year that makes you think it'll be different?
Well, I think there's a great attitude around. Not only that, Brian Mazenoff's back, and that helps us a lot. I think as soon as we get everybody flowing together and playing together, you know, we hope to get better results game in and game out. But to this point, it's still building. You know, we know we're not there yet.
This guy right here, Balsu, is going to help your back line, no doubt about it.
Definitely. He's a smart back that has good composure on the ball. And, you know, he's tall, he's fast. He's got a lot of great attributes for a back.
Brian McBride, national team forward. We can't wait to see you back in Major League Soccer, and we look forward to a great season from you.
Thanks, guys. You guys have a good night.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for joining us up here. Brian McBride, one of the great ambassadors of soccer in Columbus and in the United States, and he is the man in this town. Very disappointed that he's not able to play in the home opener because of the sprained knee. Centering ball, Wolyniec getting a head on it. Wolyniec's a handful. He's really trouble for Columbus. And here comes Washington working against Armas. Armas can slow just about anybody down. Washington trying to thread the needle to West. Still trouble. Brown gets it out to the side. Bocanegra after the ball, sends it upfield. Wolf coming back to the ball. It's out of bounds off Columbus. A quick counter for the Crew, and some hope being shown there, although Elcock comes up a little bit lame.
Yeah, finally a dangerous attack by Columbus, but in the first 20 seconds of this half, DeMarcus Beasley picked up where he left off. Now, he's a left-footed player, but no hesitation to drill a ball after cutting inside, to drill it with his right foot.
Elcock was limping after that last exchange. Chicago's a pretty alert team. I wonder if they're going to swing the ball to the left side and let Beasley go at a guy who has tormented him at times this evening, including running him right into a camera platform in the first 60 seconds. Columbus will hold it here.
There's Bonsu, who made a big defensive play just a moment or two ago, cutting off a through ball. It was dangerously bouncing into Columbus's penalty area.
We saw last season the Crew very disappointing at coming from behind in the second half. Just one tie, 10 losses in 11 games in which they trailed at halftime. Barzija working against Chulis. Marsh wants the benefit of the throw-in. He's not going to get the call. Oh, yes, he is. Referee's assistant right on it. Chulis looking for Wolyniec. Has a hand on Balsu, and that's a foul against Wolyniec. A good call for Kevin Terry, who has been on top of the game.
Giving out 2 yellow cards, 1 to each team in the first half.
Buttle turning against Gutierrez. Marsh comes in to help out. Buttle flicks it forward. Cunningham for Elcock, who is back to full speed. In the corner against Bocanegra. It's a throw-in for Columbus. Elcock takes it in a hurry. Flicked on. Washington's flying volley goes over the top. Dante didn't quite get the plant that he wanted, and thus couldn't get the leverage on the ball.
What a dedicated professional Dante Washington is. Last year, he fought off many injuries to still score 15 goals. This one, he couldn't quite turn his body in time. Washington, very good speed, very powerful on the ball. and a guy that will get his goals throughout the season on sheer effort.
Dante Washington and the goalie at whom he was
shooting, Zach Thornton. Pretty close friends, both from Maryland, and have known each other since youth ball days.
Is either going to Chicago or
Chulis.
Washington, D.C.
Armas.
Courtesy of America West Airlines.
Chris Armas, the U.S. Soccer Player of the Year last year. West for Varzija.
Marsh charging in on him. And that's the difference between these two teams tonight. Marsh comes in on Varzija, steals the ball in the middle third of the field, where Columbus is allowing Chicago to take that and hold it.
Here's Wolf, who has gone wide to get away from the physical play of Clark. And forward comes Chulis to take it off
West's foot. Chulis rolling it too hard on the touch for Kovalenko. Back to Marsh. Drills it off of Mazonoff. Buttle against Armas. Has to play it back.
Armas doesn't give you too many forward options.
Well, Buttle there, though, showing very good skill for a big man, using his body to shield the ball away from Armas. But you're right, Armas, no question, the best defensive midfielder, the best pest in putting pressure on the opposition in midfield and forcing mistakes and turnovers.
Gutierrez going in hard and low and winning the ball away from Washington. Kovalenko
Up to Wolf. Beasley on the left side. Chipping forward, Wolina not in sync with him. Olsu. Yeager.
This is the captain, Varzija, calling for someone to show to the ball. Chulis makes
A tackle away from
West. Marsh.
Kovalenko, and there goes Beasley on the left side. He could make somebody's life miserable in about a half a second. Kovalenko decides to go the other way against the grain. Wolf chests it down. They rule a handball
as Wolf was making the maneuver.
Chicago looking to widen their lead. Josh Wolf here. He's mostly his chest on that ball. I'm not so sure if he really made. You think he made contact with his right arm?
He's no Diego Maradona. We know that.
The game summary. It has been
all fire on offense. Chicago really has left off right where MLS fans last saw them. MLS Cup 2000 in Washington, D.C. The Fire dominated. They hit
the post by Hristo Stoichkov. Gutierrez hit the crossbar from about 4 yards away. Tony Miola was sensational, but they couldn't get one
across the line, and Kansas City won MLS Cup 2000 1-0. Chicago then finished off the Lamar Hunt U.S. Cup and did win that. An offside here against the Fire. But this Chicago team, deep, and as we mentioned in the first half, Bob Bradley has done such a good job at finding guys to fill holes where those holes just suddenly have happened.
Well, he's going to have to do it again already tonight. No Stoichkov through injury, no Peter Novak through injury. Andrew Lewis a little banged up. And he's going to have national team call-ups. Chris Armas is going to be gone. Josh Wolf is going to be gone when the U.S. team plays.
Gutierrez banging it forward, and Wolf is about 6 yards offside. Caught napping a little bit.
Columbus putting the ball back in play quickly. Columbus warming up a few players who needs something offensive.
Clark. Varzija.
Well, Jack, you said it. It's all about hardware. And in their very short existence, remember an expansion team in '98, Chicago's already won many major trophies, including the Open Cup.
Yeagley into the box. Bocanegra heads it down. Chulis tries to play it the fancy way, and it rolls out of bounds on him. This is a dangerous area for Columbus to be in.
We're going to get a substitution for Columbus. Roland Aguilera is going into the game for Brian Masonoff. Aguilera
from the Tolhuichi Academy in Bolivia. Listen to the hand for Masonoff.
I think that's a recognition of what Masonoff has done over the years for the Columbus Crew, but he missed the entire 2000 season due to the ankle surgeries. Tonight, it was very evident, although he had a few good touches, that he's still not quite up to speed, certainly stamina-wise.
Understandable if he has a little rust after a year.
Varzija trying to curl it to West, only missed by a couple of yards. And West understands that Varzija can put a ball to a spot.
in this year's DSW Shoe Warehouse of America's Finest.
We remind you that the United States plays its next
World Cup qualifier against Costa Rica at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. You can see it on ESPN2 April 25th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30
p.m. Pacific. The U.S. an impressive 2-0 after its win at Honduras and leading the World Cup qualifying group. We look forward to a huge partisan American crowd. Washington shot!
Zach Thornton stabs it out of midair. Best chance of the night for Columbus.
Spectacular save by Zach Thornton. A first-time strike by Dante Washington, and the big man stretches for it. Had a bead on it, 58 miles per hour on the Pepsi power shot, but again, such a big man, able to move so quickly to get to that ball, struck first time towards the upper corner.
Well, finally, there is a little blood showing. Columbus has struck a damaging blow. Now, can it work the ball back and get a few more and find some seams? Washington is offside on a 40-yard cross-field pass here.
Never ceases to amaze me, though, how well Zach Thornton, as big and bulky as he is, how well he's able to move on his line to get to those balls that would appear to be out of reach.
Aguilera drops the ball down after the Columbus foul, so Armas will put it in play. Marsh showing to the ball. Here's Armas, and all of a sudden he's got 20 yards of space around him in midfield and takes it right away.
Armas walk into the box. Armas' shot deflects. Prestis makes the save. You cannot let a player walk down the middle unless you decide you're just not going to contest the game.
No, that is something that Chicago definitely has done much better than Columbus, and that's clog the central midfielder. And that, give credit to Armas most of the time.
Buttle on the right side against Gutierrez. Moves. Buttle shot. Saved by Thornton. Zach always well positioned.
Thornton looking very sharp on that one, and looking extremely sharp before on that save. Here's the dribbling of Armas. Comes all the way through the ball, deflecting off of Mike Clark. But they almost let him walk all the way through. And well, you're already trailing 1-0. You can't afford to let Chris Armas just dictate the play like that.
Aguilera looking long to the corner for West against C.J. Brown. Brown steps in hard for the tackle. It's a throw-in.
Aguilera tries the one touch, spins back to him, fires it into the box past Washington.
Gutierrez has to play with the right, not his preferred foot, and it squirts out of bounds.
Well, some hopefulness creeping into Columbus's attack.
Yeagley, Cunningham, Columbus attacking with the win here in the second half.
Armas wins the ball in the box, chips it outside to Wolf, who heads it forward. Balsu waiting for it for Columbus. This definitely is Columbus's
best series, but here comes a counter from the fleet to Marcus Beasley. Balsu, the hard, sure tackle across in midfield. That's how he's going to help his team.
Well, Balsu actually covering for himself. He had given the ball away, and only his speed saved him. Because if you don't have a little bit of speed, you're not going to catch DeMarcus Beasley. We've seen that enough times.
Balsu, aggressive, athletic, and he can make the good play for you.
Normally he's very sure on the ball, and that time he wasn't, and he had to recover.
Columbus just plays right through the whistle.
And Kevin Terry lets them after Chulis had a handful of Cunningham's jersey.
Roland Aguilera now in central midfield, coming on from Mazenov, wearing number 7 for the Columbus Crews, a product of the Talwichi Academy in Bolivia, just like Marco Echeverri, the Columbus Crew hope. Just like Jaime Moreno, the Columbus Crew hope.
They would take either one of those. Great combination on display next week on Soccer Saturday on ESPN2.
As DC United plays the Chicago Fire team. Yeagley against Bocanegra. Into the box.
Brown's diving attempt got in the way of Buttle's volley try. Beasley hammers it up to midfield. Wolynick deflects it out of bounds. Now Columbus is beginning to take over
this middle portion of the second half.
Yeagley. West against Chulis. Marsh coming back to help out. Gets a piece of West's heels. And we're going to see a yellow card coming out.
Jesse Marsh is booked in the
63rd minute. It is the second yellow card.
Well, Marsh is disgusting. It was a little harsh because he actually got the ball, but the fact is he did challenge from behind. Dangerous to the opponent.
Varzija's serve. Armas heads it down and out.
Here's the long throw from Elcock. Buttle heads it on. Armas is there.
No one from Columbus challenging at the penalty spot. Varzija trying to run onto the volley, and it's Armas clearing it out. On his own side of midfield, Josh Wolf was onside.
In a battle with Paul Sue, Wolf goes head over heels. Yeagley. West. Yeagley. Cunningham against
Chulis. Marsh over there. Cunningham goes down. Marsh with the contact.
He got him.
This is a trick. Yep.
Well, we've seen some entertaining play at times. It's such a negative approach by Columbus in the first half. Made for some unexciting attacking play, certainly from their end. But how much this game would be more entertaining if Risto Stoichkov was in it, Peter Novak, and Brian McBride.
Part of the riddle of coaching is finding a way to make it work when you don't have the parts. No one has been better at that than Bob Bradley.
The Chicago team looked totally prepared for this season opener against Columbus, despite not having Novak and Stoichkov.
To their biggest ball handlers. Varzija just goes past the post. That one whipped around in the wind. I don't think Zach Thornton had a good beat on the ball after the wind took it.
Thornton definitely misjudged this ball. Whether it was because of the wicked swerve that Varzija is able to put on it, see the spin, or the wind also playing tricks with it. But he's out there flailing at it, and he may have made a slight bit of contact to it. But he certainly misplayed it. The first crack that we've seen in Zach Thornton's plays. Otherwise, it's solid as the Great Wall of China.
Since that Dante Washington first-time shot from the top of the box, it has been all Columbus here. But now, Marsh with a chance
to come back. Aguilera marking him. Marsh to the arc. Ball Stewart.
Got all ball, and then Marsh goes tumbling over the top. Buttle coming back to the ball. Brown winning the 50-50. Beasley. Beautiful catch on the instep at first stride. Elcock contact from behind.
That's a push against Columbus. And is Elcock going to get booked for this? Yes, he is.
That comes in the 66th minute. So 2 each.
Well, Elcock introduced DeMarcus Beasley to our camera position on the near side in the first minute of play.
All the way through.
Wolf trying to get something on it, and it goes out of bounds. If you're just joining us at the top of the hour, alongside Ty Keown with our ESPN2 crew, this is Soccer Saturday. It's the season opener for the Chicago Fire
and the Columbus Crew. Chicago came within inches several times of winning MLS Cup 2000.
And has its sights set on MLS Cup 2001, which will be played on this field in October.
October 21st. At Columbus Crew Stadium. What a wonderful surface they have to play on here. All the players really enjoy coming to Columbus.
Gutierrez is cornered to the short
post. Yeagley volleys it clear. Chulis misplays it off the outside of his foot. Washington, contact from Armas from behind. That's going to be a free kick for Columbus. Chulis steps in. Washington shoves him in the check.
Teammates a couple weeks ago. That's how it goes. He's wearing the wrong color shirt now.
You're one of them, buddy. Robert Varzija, who barely missed on that ball that fooled Thornton. Cunningham working against Brown.
Cunningham with speed into the box. Armas picks him clean. Cunningham.
Oh, hey.
Armas just doesn't buy the fancy stuff. Cunningham goes down, and Armas has yet another victory.
It was sweet while it lasted. Give him some style points at least.
You know what style means to Armas? He's seen so many stylish forwards and taking the ball away from them.
I quoted Michel Platini to you the other day. It's not figure skating. They do not give points for style. Columbus needs to stick a ball in the net. Or they'll lose their home opener, something they've never done in the 5 previous seasons.
Through 5 times in a row and never has lost the game at Cruz Stadium. Yeagley and Barzia. Barzia puts it up toward the penalty spot. Washington scores!
Wonderful ball by Robert Barzia, an in-swinger with his right foot, just over the top of Diego Gutierrez, and a well-positioned Dante Washington floating towards the back post. No offside, because when the ball was played, he was still even with Gutierrez, and then he just glances it off the head, off of the post. No chance for Zach Thornton. And what was amazing to me was the reaction of the players on the Columbus team, and even of the fans here. They looked like they never expected to score. They were the most surprised people on the field. Even Dante Washington was surprised that he scored. This team doesn't believe in themselves.
Washington changed the entire complexion of this game with that first-time shot. And we had talked earlier about Barziha's ability to thread the needle and hit a perfect pass.
C.J. Brown was in pretty good position, but you can't be 9 feet tall. And that ball went over the area that Brown was able to lift himself into.
And Washington was perfect.
Armas.
Yeah, you brought it up before, Jack. Barzia had tried a similar ball that almost clicked and missed by just a couple of yards.
Bocanegra.
Schulis. Marsh.
Finds Beasley in a pass to Alcott coming out to have a look. Beasley goes right at him. Tries to play it wide. And Wolf loses his footing.
A little bit of turf coming up. Aguilera.
Alcott off Beasley. It'll be a Columbus throw.
Lewis is coming into the game for Matt
Schulis for Chicago. Lewis was listed for this match as probable with a contusion in his left calf.
Number 17, Andrew Lewis enters the game, replacing number 6.
Lewis played for Bob Bradley at Princeton and has filled a lot of roles for him. Wolynick goes down off contact from Barzia in midfield. It's a Chicago free kick.
Kovalenko and Armas over the ball.
Here's Beasley, 30 yards from goal. Fires away. Time. Ambitious.
The tying goal for the Columbus Crew in the later part here of the second half. Barzia, a beautiful ball, floated in behind Diego Gutierrez and ghosting in Dante Washington to get his head on it. And that, as you said, Jack, changes things. Chicago was in complete control. In fact, they made Columbus look silly in parts of the first half.
John DeBrito enters the game for Edson
Buttle. And here's a chance forward for West against Bocanegra.
1 against 4.
Cunningham. Yeagley on the move toward the left wing corner, pulling a man away.
Barzia has to go back into the center of the field.
Aguilera chipping toward the corner. Yeagley on the go. Saves it. A half volley into the middle. Washington the challenge. Bocanegra got up to the ball.
It's going to be a corner for Columbus.
But Washington did well on the goal to sneak in behind Gutierrez. Now, Gutierrez has good springs, but he doesn't have the muscle and the strength of Dante Washington. Washington didn't need that, really, though, because he had found the space, and better yet, Varzija had dropped the ball right in behind to Washington.
Varzija's corner. Gutierrez knocks it down. Aguilera tries the volley. He shanks it. Dante Washington led Columbus's attack last season and must by default do so early this year with Brian McBride out due to a knee injury.
Old hat, unfortunately, had a very bad string of luck. But it's something that comes with the game and something we have to adjust to. We'll be more than ready when he comes back, and hopefully he'll be back really soon. But you know, it's a big loss, and we'll be ready to have him back.
But Washington taking up McBride's role on that goal-scoring play. It's McBride that always sneaks towards that back post, hoping to find some space back there for the high ball. And he finished it to a tee on a great serve from Robert Varzija.
Brown bumping up front along with Cunningham. Yeagley. This is John DeCrito. Cunningham in traffic. Gets it away from Kovalenko. Aguilera. Cunningham. Firing forward, looking for Washington. Lewis not playing it cleanly. Now Brown with trouble. Washington fouls him from behind. A little trouble there from Andrew Lewis.
Well, we're seeing a mirror image of the first half of play. In the first half, Chicago had Columbus pinned in. Or better yet, Columbus conceded the attacking half and just packed in their own defensive half. Now we're seeing momentum having switched. Columbus keeping Chicago in their half.
Thornton cracking it upfield. Clark going over the top to win the ball. And here's Aguilera. Goes corner looking for West. He makes the cut perfectly. West turns it back. It goes off of Lewis. I thought it might have hit Lewis's forearm on the way in. But the ball played him. He didn't play the ball in any rate.
Aguilera, though, a wonderful through ball onto West. Well-timed run in behind Chicago's defense. Aguilera showing tremendous vision and brilliant execution with the outside of the foot through ball.
West and Cunningham both have explosive speed, and Tom Fitzgerald has them stacked on the left side of the field.
Now they pinch middle, and that opens up the lane wide for Yeagley here. Aguilera goes toward the corner.
Varzija. Washington 30 yards away. Bocanegra settles it for Kovalenko. Chicago needs a little possession and some kind of forward charge. Willinek wanted to break through quickly. Now the ball comes through for Wolf. Willinek around Prestis. Gets past him, but Balsu saves it for his keeper.
Well, there's the danger as Columbus does push a few more players forward. They are more susceptible to those quick breaks by Chicago. Willinek has shown he can be very dangerous in those situations. He'll run anything down.
Guys got guts. Got a yellow card for
charging into goalkeeper Tom Prestis in the first half. DeBrito. Aguilera. It's one sub to another. Now looking for West against Lewis, who also came in fresh.
Lewis steals the ball. Gives it back to Aguilera. Right into the box. Gutierrez is the only man there for Chicago. Aguilera up.
Could have settled it, headed it out of bounds.
A chance for Chicago a moment ago on a quick break. Josh Wolf, a good through ball with the outside of his right foot. Wozniak thought he had it. Bonsu chased him down, got a foot to it, saving the day for Preston.
Wozniak could make a good
run just before the delivery of the pass to stay onside. He actually cut off his run. Washington challenging against Thornton, who has to dump the ball, knowing that he was going to fly out of the box while holding it.
Alertness from Zach Thornton.
Marsh turns and fires away from Varzija, curls and stays in. Wozniak has Yeagley tied up, and that's a hold against Wozniak. Well, the Crew fans are happy now. This team is charging, just storming
the Chicago goal. Bocanegra comes up with a challenge on West, and the ball rolls through to Thornton.
Good Gutierrez. Fires up the line.
Barzija gets to space before Wolf does. Robert Barzija with a beautiful
Assist tonight, trying to send through Elcock. It's offside. That's weak. You will not win a whole lot of friends by putting the ball in the goal well after a whistle.
Elcock coming forward, ball played. Pretty close call, actually. Because over on the near side, there was a Chicago Fire red shirt that might have just about kept him on.
Here's Beasley breaking into a pass against Bolsu. Beasley into the middle for Armas, the first timer. Saved by Prestis. Check it, it was Wolf on the shot flying through.
Wolf very frustrated because he knows he should have gotten more on this ball. Look at Beasley. Get his head up, pick out the targets, and deliver again, just like the goal that was scored by Chicago in the first half. Deliver a ball that could be struck first time by an onrushing forward. And Wolf had a little bit of pressure on him, but he should have gotten more force behind that ball. It ended up being an easy save for Prestis.
Beasley has Gutierrez going long left. Gutierrez,
more commonly a midfielder than a back where he's playing tonight. Fires one into the box. Mark the diving header to clear. Mark. Kovalenko against Yeagley.
Kovalenko to the arc.
He likes the right foot a lot better than that left, which is why he hesitated there.
Gutierrez
with Wolf. Wolf ships it behind Wolf. Also with the clear. There's Armas. See if Chicago can get some possession here, settle things down, and hold the ball in the forward third. Brown serves it
toward the box. Bonsu heads it, but there's Armas without much of a challenge. That requires Washington to come all the way back from midfield.
Gutierrez loses it on the tackle, and here's Brian West. Barzija wants to push it.
Well, Chicago could look to just play for a point on the road, but they're still attacking.
Bocanegra lets it run out
for the goal kick in the 80th minute. It is Soccer Saturday, the first day of the 2001 season.
The Metro Stars have gotten off on a good foot with a 2-1 overtime win. Kansas City and DC United are 2-2 in the second half. Colorado and Miami had a goal apiece in the second half.
Tampa Bay leads Dallas 2-1 in the first as Joe Otto scores a goal. San Jose and Los Angeles
a little later. Joe Otto, who makes a cameo appearance in Joe McGinnis's great soccer book, The Miracle of Castel de Sangro, recommended reading for all viewers of Soccer Saturday. Kovalenko along the right sideline. Wolf lets it run through for Wolenek. Wolenek thought Wolf was going to play it. Maybe because he's so far below Wolf on the pecking order.
Well, I mean, Wolenek normally not a starting player. Remember last year when he rods off up front with Stoichkov or Josh Wolf.
Elcock heads it over the top of Beasley. Beasley comes up lame. He took a ding in the back. DeMarcus is down.
Holding his butt.
Well, we're only about 9 minutes away from potential overtime. Here's Beasley, who's been racked up a few times here, and Elcock goes up pretty fairly and piles on top of him just as a consequence of having won the head ball.
Program reminder, this Tuesday, ESPN Action Sports and Music Awards, fueled by Mountain Dew, a first-time event.
Tuesday, 9 Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time on
ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Goal in the first half by John Wolenek. The answer in the 69th minute here in the second half by Dante Washington. Marcus Beasley gets up.
Bob Bradley shows his concern. It is a 1-1 game here at Cruz Stadium. Beasley
is going to be a sore young man tonight. Here's Chris Armas. Wolf gets away from
DeBrito. He's got Wolenek to a seam. Bolsu gets a toe on Wolf and trips him.
So it'll be a restart for Chicago about 40 yards from goal.
We talked about Chicago having the option to play for a point on the road. Just get a tie here. But they'd have to get past 90 minutes. They'd have to get through stoppage time. They'd also have to get through 10 minutes of overtime, 5 minutes each way of sudden death. They wanted to take that point back to Chicago.
3 men over the ball here. Against the wind and 40 yards away, unless you got Bobby Charlton out there or maybe
David Beckham. I don't know if this is realistic to think about a shot. It's got to be a serve. Kovalenko trying to
tip off for Bocanegra, sliding in the left side. It's going to be a goal kick.
A chance here. Kovalenko to lift the ball in behind some defenders. Tell you what, Bocanegra did a good job of getting in front of Elcock. Elcock's not had the best of defensive games, allowing Beasley to get free for the assist on the go-ahead goal for Chicago in the first half.
Lewis heading it forward for Wolf.
Wolf upset it himself, giving it away, and now Columbus will hold.
A mirror image indeed, Todd. Chicago looking an awful lot like Columbus did in the first half, with the exception of a couple of offensive forays. Columbus had almost no offense in the first half. This game changed markedly when Dante Washington
got off a first-time shot. The crowd came alive, and Columbus
suddenly started playing with passion and enthusiasm and confidence.
Well, Jack, there were hints of the offense waking up for Columbus. Within 3 or 4 minutes of the goal, there were a couple of situations where they looked to be able to possess the ball in the corners and get some crosses in. So it was not totally unexpected, although I still have to laugh at the reaction of the crowd. I don't think they could quite believe that the ball had actually gone in for their team.
Hit the post, rushed through the net, 1,001, 1,002, and then they erupted. Armas.
Marsh. Brown breaking toward the corner.
Armas. Wolf. First time pass looking for Wolinek. Bolsu cleans it out, but Armas. First time it down to Kovalenko. Kovalenko chips it to the outside to Brown. Wolf
has entered the box. Wolinek also a target man there. Aguilera takes it away.
Kovalenko slide tackle, gets hammered on.
Oh, that was unnecessary. Aguilera went over the ball, putting the studs of both shoes.
And it's a red card. Aguilera right out and a proper call. Kevin Terry.
I agree with
Aguilera
completely.
In the 85th minute.
Kevin Terry's been all over it. You could barely criticize him on a couple of plays, but on this one, he nails it. We'll see on the replay that Aguilera makes no attempt.
He's here all of a sudden. It's a miracle.
Aguilera comes rushing in now.
That's how you break.
He misses the ball completely, and he leaves his feet, all of his weight coming down on the lower shins or ankles. There it is right there. The right lower shin of Kovalenko. The bottom of Aguilera's boot. I think Fitzgerald's telling him, hey, if you're going to do that, you should expect to be red carded. You can't be pulling that stuff in a critical game. Psychologically, a home opener can set the scene for the next couple of months in a team's season. If you can't win your home opener, things look pretty dismal.
30-year-old Mike Lapper going in for Todd Yeagley. Lapper, yet another UCLA product, playing in
Major League Soccer. UCLA has more
alums than any other school.
Aguilera, I don't know who taught him how to do that, but that's potentially very dangerous to the opponent.
Armas,
a high curling ball. Prestis cleaning out Bocanegra, and Bocanegra called for the foul.
Passionate ones here in Columbus yelling for a red card as you see Aguilera.
The funny part is he comes out of an academy, Tawichi, which is touted for teaching skill and technical ability and touch and artistry on the ball. And then the young player who had made a few good touches earlier on, after having come on as a sub, pulls a play like that.
Cunningham, a two-hopper, and Thornton sprawls to make the save. Play picking up here in the closing minutes of the second half.
A reminder that we do play overtime in Major League Soccer.
Wolinek trying to get away from DeBrito. Here's Gutierrez, the safety valve, plays it square for Armas, and again he has space in the middle of the field. Takes it. Kovalenko.
There it is again. Well, they've been watching Manchester United too much, where Dwight York and Andy Cole pull that off constantly. They don't quite have it here yet, though. A nice thought by Josh Wolf. And you'd like to think if it's Novak running in behind him or Risto Stoichkov, that they pick up on it a little bit better than rolling that catch so far tonight.
Chicago has swung this game back its way and now playing 11 against 10 with the red card to Aguilera. Armas goes down in the penalty arc. Leon.
Yeah, that's the kicker.
Here's Dante Washington against Lewis, who's lame. Down goes Washington. Lewis is going to get a card, and it is red. 88th minute.
Well, you saw the power and explosiveness there of Dante Washington. You also saw a little bit of dramatics. He's certainly bumped. He's held a little bit. And he goes down in a heap. I think it's the correct call. Lewis reached in with his arm because Washington was about to pull away from him. Each team a man down. So 10 against 10.
Barzija has scored from this position often. He is to the left of the penalty arc, has a brilliant right foot.
The Polish rifle.
And not just a rifle, though, because he can shoot a bullet around the corner.
Yeah, he bends him.
And he's got the wind at his back, so a perfect opportunity here to shoot to the far post, where the curve will have its greatest effect. He's capable of going over the wall and dipping it into the near post, though. 5 men in the wall. 90th minute. 1-1 in Columbus. Barzija, the drive, doesn't get over it.
We'll see the foul that caused the ejection of Andrew Lewis. There's the power, the acceleration of Dante Washington. And right here, the left arm of Lewis hooks Dante Washington, bringing him to the ground. And an ejection because it was a clear goal-scoring chance. And Lewis, at least on our camera angle, appeared to be the last defender. Because if Washington got past him, very good chance of scoring. So a deliberate foul, red card.
There will be 3 minutes of stoppage time added at the official's discretion. And if nobody scores, there will be 10 minutes of overtime, 5 minutes each way. The wind has been a factor tonight. The team attacking right to left has had the better of the play in each of the halves.
I'm not so sure, Jack, so much that it was the wind as it was the tactics of the teams. Columbus looking to conserve energy in the first half.
The factor, right?
A factor, definitely.
Wolf into the box. Rolling through traffic. Armas saved by Prestus. Oh, he saves the game for the Crew. That's why they got him.
A good young talent. Prestus, though, reacted well, getting off of his line to leave no angle, really, for the Armas shot.
So in stoppage time, Gutierrez all the way over the top, and Clark heads it clear. Kovalenko and Washington in a race. Kovalenko wins the ball low. Kovalenko goes right into the box with it. The shot saved by Prestus. Oh, mercy!
Hey, put a cape on him and paint an S on his chest. Prestus, a player who won a championship in MLS in 98. Look at that. Unbelievable. That's going away from him, and he still gets to it. A young goalkeeper who lost his confidence last year at DC United. DC gave up more goals than any team in MLS. I think a change of scenery, the best thing that could possibly happen for Tom Prestus.
The Fire knocking at the door again. Gutierrez drives it, not what he wanted. Beasley alone back there. Chips it forward. Prestus comes out and takes an easy one for a change. He wants to launch the counter. Beasley goes up and wins the ball away from West. Now Gutierrez settling it. And more than a minute of stoppage time left. Lacker pops it up. Molinek tries to settle it on the outside of his foot. Gets it back to Armas, who was robbed by Prestus moments ago. Wolf with his back to the goal. Chips it right side. Here comes Marsh. Kovalenko shot just curls over the bar. Chicago with phenomenal pressure in the last couple of minutes here.
Prestus at 6'4", using every bit of that range to try and keep this one out to make those couple of stops just a moment ago. Chicago looking to steal 3 points on the road.
Armas takes down Cunningham at midfield about half a minute to go in stoppage time, then the overtimes. Well,
wasn't exactly the most rousing first half, but here in the second, it has been a great opener for Soccer Saturdays on ESPN2. We'll be with you all the way through the summer on ESPN and ESPN2. Marsh into the box. Lappin. One last chance.
Dante Washington wants that long ball over the top for Columbus.
DeBrito wants to fire it forward. Washington against C.J. Brown. Washington, a through ball for DeBrito. DeBrito has West on the far side. DeBrito goes to the shot. Oh, Thornton has to save the day. In the final seconds, we will go to overtime. Tremendous stops by both keepers. Zach Thornton sends us to overtime. It is Soccer Saturday on ESPN2, and we will go to sudden death.
Everybody, let's go have some fun. Our cheerleaders. Cheerleaders are dancers who have gone retarded.
Welcome to the world of competitive cheerleading.
In this world, it's survival of the fittest.
Let me see you do your thing.
Now it's time to put up. Shut up. Let's do this. Bring it on, baby.
For the first time on television, order Bring It On In Demand.
Everybody, let's go have some fun.
This month on Time Warner.
The truth isn't always pretty. Sometimes you have to dig to find it. MSNBC investigates, weeknights at 8. Because if you want to understand, you have to see for yourself.
He sends me a death, go ahead and carry it out.
Go places you're not usually allowed.
Where were you in the building and where was the explosion? Oh my God!
Open your eyes. Get the whole picture. MSNBC investigates. Think of it as your nightly reality check. Weeknights, 8 p.m.
ESPN Deportes is here. Now ESPN is in Espanol. Sunday nights, catch the best in Major League Baseball. Coming soon, we'll bring you the NFL and boxing. ESPN Deportes, Sunday nights at 7:30.
Soccer fans, get fired up for a great season of MLS action. When you order MLS ESPN Shootout, you'll get over 100 matches and select playoff games. So bring the action home. Order MLS ESPN Shootout now. Call your cable company, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
The ride, don't need a reason why. Everything's alright.
Easy boy.
Okay, who are you?
The milkman?
Do you have a sidekick?
No.
A nemesis?
A what?
A bad guy?
I'm a people person.
Have you been fighting crime long?
I don't fight crime.
What do you fight?
Osteoporosis. A never-ending supply of milk. And chocolate milk.
Want strong bones? Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
This is Soccer Saturday coming away from Columbus. Wolyniuk in the first half for Chicago.
Washington in the second for the Crew. We remind you that NHRA SummitRacing.com Nationals from Las Vegas are coming up next, immediately following the end of this game. In overtime, 2 5-minute periods, if necessary. It ends in sudden death on what they call a golden goal.
Well, we saw some golden saves and some stellar play by both goalkeepers, which brought us to this overtime. Prestis at the right end for Chicago. And then in the closing seconds of the game, this ball straight for the upper corner. Zach Thornton keeps it out. And here we are going to golden goal overtime. If they remain tied after 5 minutes each way, each team gets a point in the standings. It's 3 points if either team is able to score here in the golden goal situation. The winner takes 3 points, the loser gets none.
Columbus the ball to begin the first 5-minute overtime period. A sparkling second half after a rather lackluster first half. Beasley takes the ball that hangs in the wind. Wolyniuk looking middle for Wolf. Prestis out, 10 yards off his line. Preston's had 2 saves in about a minute and a half span, maybe even less than that, toward the end of the second half. They've kept this game going. DeBrito. Lapper, who entered the game late. We're playing 10 on 10. Both teams have had a man ejected. Aguilera going in the 85th minute for Columbus and Lewis in the 88th for Chicago. Cunningham
against Armas. DeBrito.
DeBrito working against Kovalenko. DeBrito had that brilliant shot that Thornton made the great save on.
Confidently struck with DeBrito's left foot to the near upper corner.
Cunningham trying to work it through. All the way to the 6-yard box. Cunningham through. And if
Gutierrez doesn't stop that, West slots it home and this game's over. But here's a chance for Elcock into the box against Beasley. Elcock backpeels it. Barcia can't get over the ball. A reminder, if you're tuning in for the NHRA SummitRacing.com Nationals from Las Vegas, that comes up immediately following our live coverage of Soccer Saturday. This is the first Saturday of the MLS season, and Chicago and Columbus are in overtime at Crew Stadium.
And it could very well be immediately following a game-winning goal here, a golden goal, a sudden death victory. There's extra space out on that field because the players are fatigued, because each team is a man down due to the ejections. If they can just find the energy to use that space, one of these teams should be able to create a goal.
Beasley, contact from Elcock from
behind. Beasley's shin guard pops out. This is going to be a very good scoring chance for Chicago in a similar position from where Barcia struck a ball late in the second half on a free kick.
Watch Carlos Bocanegra, number 4 in red for the Chicago Fire. He's sneaking towards that back post.
Hey, you're Russian. Jeffrey.
Listen to Preston barking orders for the wall.
Dave! 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 Left! 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 Hey, get in! Get in!
Calling for another man in the wall.
Left!
Which leaves maybe a little more space at the back post. Bocanegra is very powerful in the air.
Preston is guarding against the far post. He's going to take the near post
up himself. Kovalenko will take a try at it. Kovalenko tries to
serve it middle, didn't get the ball up. Beasley chips into the box.
Well run, Lapper coming through.
Why would you bring Bocanegra all the way up and then serve the ball low to the back post?
I think he was trying to get under the ball and just didn't strike it well. I'm giving him the benefit there. I don't know. Hard to get inside his head.
If Risto Stoichkov's in this game, I think it's over on that free kick situation. Stoichkov with a slightly sprained left ankle. Here's a red card, folks.
Gutierrez, yep, it's coming on the back pocket, and Gutierrez is gone.
In the 94th minute. 3 red cards after 4 yellow cards.
Which means Gutierrez will miss next week's match as well. Barcia was holding him, and then it wasn't an elbow per se. Gutierrez swings his hand and clips Barcia on the nose, on the cheek. What happens is the second violation is the one that always is punished the most severely. I mean, Barcia fouled Gutierrez first. He tugged on his shirt. Gutierrez lost his head, swung the arm behind.
Well,
that's how it goes.
It's a good thing there's only 10 minutes of overtime, because if we were playing indefinitely, we'd be down to 4-on-4 in another hour or so.
That would take a little bit of fitness.
In the 5th minute of the first overtime, Elcock too hard for West to handle, and it'll be a Chicago throw-in. The Fire now playing 9 against 10. And Chicago, you wonder how many players they're going to have
next week
available to play against DC United next week on Soccer Saturday. We know for sure that Lewis and Gutierrez
will not be playing. The red card carries with it an automatic
miss of the next game. Here's Armas.
Oh, trying to move against Elcock.
It's going to be a goal kick.
DeMarcus There's a rumor that his brother Jamar could be coming to Chicago in some sort of a trade.
It's the end of the first overtime. And we will keep it right here. A reminder that the NHRA.com Racing Nationals are coming your way from Las Vegas immediately after this next 5-minute overtime or less if a goal is scored.
But when it comes right down to here, big challenge for the Chicago Fire to get out of here with a point since they're now playing 9 against 10. But can the Columbus Crew find that extra man? They should be able to, in any given play, have an open player as they attack the Chicago goal. So Columbus needs to move the ball quickly side to side to find that extra man.
Or just go into a bunker and get out of here with a point. But the Fire charges forward. Here's Josh Wolf. Wolf on the go. Lets it rip. It's over the top. Wolf has gotten a lot of physical play from Mike Clark. Has been relatively ineffective tonight.
And he's tried to work a couple combinations with Wellinek, but they haven't clicked, especially on those dummy runs.
Bocanegra volleys it forward. Wolf takes it off the chest, settles it down for DeMarcus Beasley. The great thing for Wolf, though, is that if he scores in overtime, all anybody remembers is that he's the hero of the night. Here's Beasley against Balsu, takes it into the middle. Might have had contact with the hands. The ball gets knocked out of bounds. It's going to be a corner kick for Chicago. Beasley's going to go take it. Gutierrez has been taking Chicago's corners, and of course, Gutierrez no longer is in the game. So Beasley will go over to serve this one. And the wind is blowing away from the face of the Columbus goal. Elcott makes it clear. Chicago's throw. Wolf against Marcia. Wolf into the box. Draws it back. Wolf, Kovalenko looking for the shot. Flicks it to the right, nobody ran. Labber pops the ball up. Beasley with a little clever push on Weston, who's playing with hard danger here, throwing the ball away that way in overtime.
I like what Chicago's doing. They're attacking with 5 and only defending with 3, so they're looking to get the 3-point victory.
Against what little win there is.
Well, Chicago almost had the victory in regulation time, if not for the saves by Tom Preston in the closing moments.
Washington against Brown. Brito. Lapper, who is fresh. Looking for Washington in the box. Couldn't bring it down on the hard serve. Wolf, Armas, Wellinek. Wolf on the fly. Wellinek tries to chip it to the through ball. Clark plays it well first time. Wellinek going hard against Elcott. It's out of bounds. Columbus throw. About 2.5 to go in overtime. These two teams will see each other 4 times this year, and if the other 3 games were as entertaining as the second half has been, buy your tickets now. Speaking of buying tickets, they're still available for Kansas City on the 25th of April, the World Cup qualifier, the United States against Costa Rica. The crowd that was here in February in Columbus for the U.S. against Mexico made it a miserable night for the Mexicans. Here's DeBrito against Marsh. DeBrito blocked down and out. It's a corner kick. And Barzia will take this. The NHRA SummitRacing.com Nationals are coming up next on ESPN2. We're in sudden death in Columbus, Ohio.
2 red cards to the Chicago Fire, 1 to the Columbus Crew.
Barzia, a chance to end it. Thornton punches clear. DeBrito has a rocket. Goes outside as Beasley was covering. Barzia serves it into the box. Armas heads it down. Cunningham's drive deflects and goes out off a Columbus player. It'll be a Chicago goal kick. We only have about 1 minute of play left.
Jeff Cunningham was stitched up at halftime, a laceration that he received in a collision in the first half of play. Right cheek there. No report on how many. There they are, the barn burners.
75-yarder from Thornton. Bolson wins it over the top of Wolenek. Here's Varzija.
Swinging it for Elcock. Beasley having a look defensively.
Bocanegra heads it over the top of Cunningham. Armas. Final minute of sudden death overtime here, and here's Armas with another long run with the ball. Wolenek. Elcock there defensively. Wolenek into the box looking for Kovalenko. Too far forward. It rolls out. Columbus has the goal kick.
The news from RFK Stadium. DC United won their home opener. Late goal by Mark Polisi. Kansas City, the defending champions of MLS, go down.
So already a better start for DC than it had last year. It got embarrassed at home against LA to open the season last year. Thornton misplays the ball. It squirts out of bounds.
I think Thornton,
3 seconds left, and that's it. It's a 1-1 tie in Columbus.
Thornton was trying to score that one, I think. But the man of the match on this first soccer Saturday in Major League Soccer, the goalkeeper at the other end for the Columbus Crew, Tom Prestice, 5 saves, 2 of them stellar in the closing moments of regulation play to send this game into overtime. This one here, Kovalenko's left to the upper corner. Would have been a loss for Columbus if not for the saves of Tom Prestice.
It was a pretty hopeful start for the 6th season of Major League Soccer. A 1-1 tie here in Columbus as Tom Fitzgerald's guys open with a point at home. Major League Soccer Saturday action continues next week when the Fire play host to DC United. It comes your way live from Soldier Field at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, with Rob Stone calling play-by-play alongside Ty.
NHRA SummitRacing.com Nationals are coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. For Ty Keogh and our entire ESPN2 crew, I'm Jack Edwards. 1-1 the final in Columbus. Good night on Soccer Saturday.